Welcome to U.S. Briefing. The content of the briefing includes U.S. sending additional air defense systems to Middle East. Pentagon. NHL suspends Flames Rasmus An 4 games for charging. Recap and highlights. Washington State can't find way to slow down number 9 Oregon in 38-24 loss. Philippine data leaks expose infuriating extent of cybersecurity failures. NYCFC edges Fire 1-0 as both clubs eliminated from postseason play. U.S. sending additional air defense systems to Middle East. Pentagon. Yahoo! The United States will send a Terminal High Altitude Area Defense (THAAD) system and additional Patriot air defense missile system battalions to the Middle East in response to recent attacks on U.S. troops in the region. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said he was also placing additional troops on prepare-to-deploy orders. The move comes after discussions with President Joe Biden on recent escalations by Iran and its proxy forces in the Middle East. NHL suspends Flames Rasmus An 4 games for charging. Yahoo! Calgary Flames defenseman Rasmus An has been suspended for 4 games without pay by the NHL for charging Columbus Blue Jackets forward Patrick Lane. Anderson will lose nearly $95,000 in pay, and the money will go to the player's emergency assistance fund. The NHL stated that the force of the hit and the fact that the game was out of reach at the time contributed to the decision to suspend Anderson. The hit occurred with 5 seconds left in the Flames' 3-1 loss, and Anderson was assessed a major penalty in game misconduct. Recap and highlights. Washington State can't find way to slow down number 9 Oregon in 38-24 loss. Yahoo! The Washington State Cougars have lost their third consecutive game after losing 38-24 to Oregon at Autzen Stadium. The Cougars were in the game until the second quarter when they had a chance to silence the 50,000 Oregon fans in attendance. However, tight end Cooper Mathers dropped a wide-open pass from Cameron Ward when the score was tied at 10-all. The Cougars never recovered from that point on. Washington State played a better game compared to their previous 2 losses. They had a 17-13 deficit at halftime and went toe-to-toe with the number 9 Ducks. However, Oregon proved to be too much for the Cougars. They outscored Washington State 21-10 in the second half. Cameron Ward took 6 sacks in the loss. The Cougars' offensive line could only hold up for so long. Washington State's run defense also had issues. They could not stop Oregon from racking up 251 yards and 3 touchdowns. Philippine data leaks expose infuriating extent of cybersecurity failures. South China Morning Post. A Filipino hacker known as Diablo X Phantom has broken into at least 5 major government agencies in the Philippines and downloaded gigabytes of data, according to This Week in Asia. The hacker claims he was a 19-year-old who once worked in government as part of a red team who challenged cybersecurity controls. Filipino security specialists verified the hacker's feats and data packages. There has been a slow and disjointed reaction from the government, and experts suggest the nation's poor cybersecurity culture and lack of expertise are to blame for the breaches. NYCFC edges Fire 1-0 as both clubs eliminated from postseason play. Associated Press. New York City FC defeated the Chicago Fire 1-0 in their regular season finale. Julian Fernandez scored the winning goal in the 64th minute with an assist from Santiago Rodriguez. Both teams were eliminated from postseason play. NYCFC has now won 8 straight home games against the Fire. This is the first time NYCFC has failed to win 10 matches in a season since joining the league. Neither team had a player score double-digit goals this season. Japan bank profits would rise under 1-point rate increase, says BOJ. Nikkei Asia. A report from the Bank of Japan, BOJ, states that total earnings at Japanese banks would likely improve if domestic interest rates climbed by 1 percentage point. The BOJ's estimate of interest rate risk in its latest financial system report works out to roughly 3 trillion Japanese yen, $20 billion, to the upside. However, the report predicted cases in which regional banks feel squeezed for an extended period. Many regional banks invest in long-term bonds, so the interest rate they pay on deposits would rise sooner than yields on their investments. Red Bulls clinch playoff spot after John Tolkien's penalty kick in stoppage time. Associated Press. The New York Red Bulls defeated Nashville 1-0 on Saturday night, securing a playoff spot and extending their streak of playoff appearances to 14 seasons, the longest active streak in American professional sports. The Red Bulls entered the match with 40 points, just outside of a postseason berth. Nashville has a record of 2-5 in their last 9 regular season matches. New York goalkeeper Carlos Coronel made 4 saves in the match. The Red Bulls have faced 235 shots this season, the lowest in the league for a 34-match season since 2013. Israel to intensify Gaza strikes, U.S. pushes for more aid. Reuters. Israel launched air strikes in southern Gaza and vowed to intensify attacks in northern Gaza as the U.S. committed to providing more aid to Palestinians suffering from shortages of food, water, medicine, and fuel. Palestinian media reported that at least 11 Palestinians were killed in an Israeli strike in the southern city of Khan Yunis, and Israel was also reportedly striking the southern city of Rafah. The U.S. proposed a draft UN Security Council resolution that supports Israel's right to defend itself and demands that Iran stop exporting arms to militant groups. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the 6 Degrees world, here to bring you the latest news with a unique twist. Let's dive right into it. First up, we have the United States sending additional air defense systems to the Middle East. It seems like they're taking recent attacks on their troops in the region seriously. Now, I'm no expert, but I imagine sending air defense systems is a pretty good way to protect yourself from, being attacked from the air. It's like bringing an umbrella when it's raining missiles. Smart move, I'd say. Next, we have the NHL suspending Flames Rasmus Anderson for charging. I guess Anderson took the term flaming hot a little too literally and decided to charge at his opponent. Well, the NHL didn't take too kindly to that, and Anderson will have to sit out 4 games without pay. Ouch. That's gotta hurt, both his pride and his wallet. In sports news, the Washington State Cougars couldn't find a way to slow down number 9 Oregon in their recent loss. It's like they were trying to catch a greased pig out there. But hey, they put up a good fight, and that's all we can ask for. Maybe next time, they'll have better luck with their hands and catch that big win. Now, let's talk cybersecurity. The Philippines has been hit with a major data leak, and experts are pointing fingers at the nation's poor cybersecurity culture. It's like leaving your front door wide open and wondering why all your stuff got stolen. Come on, guys, let's lock it up and protect our data. In soccer news, New York City FC edged the Chicago Fire and secured a playoff spot. They may be out of the postseason, but at least they ended their regular season on a high note. It's like when you finish a meal with a delicious dessert. Sweet victory. Moving on to Japan, a report from the Bank of Japan suggests that Japanese bank profits would rise with a 1-point rate increase. Well, looks like the banks are ready to make some money. It's like finding a dollar bill in your pocket that you forgot about. Cha-ching! In American professional sports, the New York Red Bulls clinched a playoff spot for the 14th consecutive season. That's quite an impressive streak. It's like that one friend who always manages to find a way to get the last slice of pizza. They just have that playoff magic. Lastly, we have Israel intensifying strikes in Gaza, while the U.S. pushes for more aid to Palestinians. It's a delicate situation, but it seems like both sides are trying to find a balance. It's like trying to walk a tightrope while juggling flaming torches. Let's hope they can find a resolution soon. And there you have it, folks. That's the news for today from the 6 Degrees world. Now, it's time for you to join the conversation. What are your thoughts on these stories? Do you have any questions for me? Let's hear what you have to say. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.